I would agree. I think it was just still a really good attempt, but it's nowhere near what we saw back in PMGO, right? Like they are not up to that.
Names who are now here in the survival stage. Let's head over to the casters for game number 1 here.
Thank you very much, James. We are locked in, dialed into position, and excited to kick off the survival stage here live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Myself, Jackie, and of course the magnificent Blank, who are going to be bringing...
That's what I mean. Like,
so dramatic.
He's behind you. None of that, Blank.
Another 8 teams to go through to the finals here in our survival stage. Taking place for the course of 3 days here. Our rotating lobby either, so we're going to have the same 16 teams every single time, which is going to make things slightly easier when it comes to those drops. They struggled on day 2. They struggled on day 3 a lot. But it will be R8. It's a Nongshim Red Force. It's taking a while to kick off, but in the meantime, it is Yangon, Galacticos, nade over the top, Smile, very low. Yet another one taken down.
See if they can build from this up close and personal spam with the SMG trying to bait him in. It's a quick peek back with the DBS. Nice knock. Oh, it's really not going well in the overall fight though. You can see him being able to convert onto these knocks as well, so it's getting messy for both sides.
Tag around the edge, but somehow he absolutely fumbles it. Say Cloud will stay up here.
India versus
3 players
Korea.
up, 4 elims, very nice stuff. R8 goes down with just the 1 elim. AX though playing very cautiously, very safe. Around here from Falcons, making the rotate up towards Tambang. This has got to be, like you say, more than pageantry. This just can't be a rotate that you make, and it's just sending up there for sending up their sake. You know, he needs to check in over towards Ruins. This is a perfect opportunity for them to figure out how they want to deal with Ruins. We got a northwest circle on this one. If he recalls the rest of the boys, which they, honestly, in my opinion, should be moving pretty shortly. It's something they struggle with every time. Yes, Ralph had sent up this way. You got to follow up on that. You have to follow up on that.
Yeah. There's another Vulture circling around that area towards Ruins as well, and that's a representative from E-Arena with Joker in position to get a rough read, listening out for the audio cues. But of course, cutting over to what's going on in the main feed here. Keenatron taking a bit of damage early on. It's actually Power Gaming, of course. The Power Esports boys coming out swinging. Again, another side that I feel like they were really hit with the unlucky stick towards the opening games we saw from them. By the end, Blank, they warmed up a bit. They were more proactive. You were seeing some nice splits, good fights. It's not really been that same level of lethality, though, I was expecting to see from Power.
Easy was pretty pissed, let's be honest, on that final day. There was a couple of moments where they dropped the ball. At least there's definitely opportunity, because I do respect it. I like the fact that they were willing to tell each other, like, guys, we've got to sort this out. There are some situations where we're just not playing well, and you know things are bad when Easy's the one who's holding the reins a lot of times. You don't want to see Al-Haji in that front line. Navallo's down.
Mate, this is what I was worried about. You could see both of them had the same idea to try and third party on this setup, but E-Arena just instigate it and have already started to put Falcons into a rough spot. The AX setup as well on the drop, it's Henry that goes down. The thing that worries me here, this is way slower. The last time they went for this hot drop, they were taking the punches. They were the ones engaging. Henry seems like he went in for an opening sort of punch with the DBS. Didn't work. He's down, he's isolated, no one's there to back him up. But that worries me. Already, that's a sign of them not playing as confidently as they did last time.
It makes no sense to me either for Falcons, because if you're on that rotator from Sami, you've got a quick, most likely on this first game of the survival stage, Camp Alpha is going to be this slow. It's a slow roll.
This is certainly a slow setup here as well. Doxy. You've got Cyrax in position. If he runs in, baited out by the shots, you should get a quick connection off with the DBS, take him down from the sidelines. It is only 3 of them left, of course, with Henry falling early. Oh, the decision making on it! He had the timing for so long. Doxy gets in, not just with one, but a second follow-up, supported by the squad. And that's how they shut them to those nades.
Yeah, this was silly, in my opinion.
Wow. That up onto them as well. They've been biding their time for a while here. Meanwhile, we join the shots over at least. Able to keep himself behind cover.
Not sure what Doxy's doing here, just kind of open themselves up for Revo to take any shots that he would like. Over the top, will hit hard. Doxy will go down. That's a heavy blow to take. Second one goes through, almost was on target, a little bit of a bouncer there. Could have been terrible news for Nongshim Red Force. Difficult location for Falcons play from though. As we head up towards Regnum Kai as well as the arena, it's just a bit of a hill. right?
Yeah, for
It's
the
pretty sheer,
yeah.
and again, if we keep circling in on this location, it's going to be downhill battles for some of these teams, as opposed to E-Arena and Regnum Kaya. You don't want them sat in this location. It's such a strong spot as well, considering like the surrounding area of it, where it's quite difficult.
Yeah, go for something confident here, surely. Play off one another.
Yeah,
I mean,
versus-
Silas has just been tucked in this exact pass for like a good, what, 5-10 minutes, effectively uncontested. The nade back.
This is wild. This is wild.
On yeah.
On the left-hand side, will go down. Toshbek needs to be quick on the trigger, though. If he wants to get Silas back up, one goes down the back lines. They might just finish it off.
Mormon
Now just Mormon left alive. Toshbek in a 1v1.
The peek into it. Okay, quick switch to the shot. In fact, he's forced it down to the solo. Decision to make to go for the pick back up as well, especially with Fireflux further down the hillside. How has he got away with so much mischief? Just 2 of them.
35 seconds. I think he has time to get Sakura back up again, but yeah, messy. Very, very messy. I do think that E-Arena could just have pushed them slightly earlier there. With nades, take 2 angles. If you're getting short, just back it up. Falcons, though, fantastic spot. Could have had 4. Avalo didn't go down. But Alpha 7 do make it to that coastal side, and Tizzy continues to be a problem.
Yeah, the double spray. He got the backline angle for a double spray onto Alpha 7.
They know he's here.
They were aware from so long ago. Exposed himself to it. This is brutal, bro. Roll up as well. Falcons potentially realizing now's the time to go in. Koa from the sideline spots them. Exchange on points between either team. We say goodbye to Alpha 7. And Falcons looking to put themselves in a good spot.
I thought Falcons just take down Tizzy there. Honestly. Fair play to the Falcons. This has been an odd game all round. Let's be honest. I think Falcons could have been quicker over towards that north side. There's a lot of teams like Northwest Island that were cut out in that top 8. They were finding the most success there. Nade goes down over
Rough. 1 HP bench.
My. Literally eats it, chomps down on it. No big deal.
That's nuts. A Maxim-esque nade right on target, but he barely survives with a sliver of HP. Difference is, obviously, when you look at the battle of attrition, right? Falcons the only squad that have 3 players left alive going into this. Want to play off one another, rotate over from Fireflux as well. E-Arena in position to at least get a shot potentially back onto Redox from the side.
Scarface is not... He's a bit of an unknown factor here for these teams because he is incredibly good when it comes to these open sidelines. They also have this ridge to work around. And Fireflux are currently inside the circle. Falcons have to push out into that open ground. E-Arena also need to move, but they're close to the circle, so they can afford to wait slightly. You can see here Koa as well as Ralph edging closer and closer. That's a big Molotov. Very, very nicely placed. That's Ralph going down, and Koa has to play in the smokes, but there's Scarface.
Oh, here he comes. Unloads the magazine, gets a clean connection off Sakura down, sideline back over from Redox, goes both ways. Wave goodbye to E-Arena, leaves us in the final fight with just 2 squads, Fireflux and Falcons.
This is fantastic from Koa, man. He has to immediately start moving up. He knows he can't delay. And I think actually Fireflux won't expect him being this close. Like, that was a stellar decision from him.
Catch. Spotted out from Redox in the back line. Prime nade from Koa, chucked back over. Calls it quits on the push back up. 2-2 split. A lot of distance to work with here. Uphill battle, just spots out the head, but it's a quick timing on the peak. Scarface. Back over, bullets down, heavy tag.
Redox almost scares him off the position that Koa was going for with the nade. This nade's coming in quick though. Koa sends a nade down. Does good damage over towards Ketch, and Scarface is yet to toss the nade just yet. Could air burst over towards him. Koa's taking a 1v1 and Ketch will win it out. Oh,
the Tommy Titan unloads the magazine, shuts down the first. Redox with a big task ahead of him. Quick peek up over the rock face. Battling back with the DBS. Trying to keep them isolated. Give himself 1v1s. He's got the heal in. Quick peek back around. Trying to see if he can bait them on the face. If they give him an opportunity, he could snatch it up close. But Scarface handles it, and they...
I think that then it is still Koa who's making a lot of those big movements, a lot of those big decisions, and I'd like to see some more of the team, you know, step up for them, because right now you can't be the only one making those plays, forcing the team into good positions.
I think again on that note as well, you could see sort of the high pressure decision making. The comms look, and if we're ever looking at where it feels like, oh, you know, it's paralysis by analysis, they're not able to instantly make that heads up call. I just don't think that embodies how that. AX, okay, up against Alpha 7 up on the hillside. Exchange of nades. Only a few left in the back pockets, couple thrown out. Relatively fragmented as well. It's Devotee that's kind of trapped on an island. Cyrax there, but the Bazon to support. Not the best range.
Absolutely running low on ammo as well. And I mean, for Alpha 7, they've had to back off because it's danger close on the other side of Regnum Kaya pushing up that way. Intense game playing around Hospital. Typically, Regnum Kaya is quite good at playing this position, where they hold a lot of space and just create problems for you. It's very central right now as well, so I don't think many teams are too unhappy with their spot for Alpha 7. They're dropping smokes right now, trying to get away. I think they're happy to just give this corner of Everest over towards AX. They don't want to get caught in the crossfire between two teams.
Meanwhile here, we can see E Arena on the crash down. They're going to see if they could shut down Intense Game. Flashbang right in the corner, keep you concussed. The shotgun comes out. Joker trying to make things work, and they will do just that. Goodbye, Intense Game.
8 elims again for E Arena. Weird moments where E Arena like has these cool plays, but then will completely cool off. The engine will stall, and we see if that happens right here, right now versus Alpha 7s. They make their way up. They hear the fighting. It's a good opening knock, and they're sending more in. What are you doing? Oh, let him crawl in at least.
So grouped, they give that one up basically for free with the shrapnel being thrown over from Alpha 7. Al-Haji even taking pot shots from the side now, got an angle on the top of the ridge. The nade follow-up, that should basically be E Arena completely blown to bits. I mean, you've got one guy, it's just Joker trying to get away. Everyone else in a horrific position.
It's a good clean up onto Intense Game, but if you're E Arena there, now's not the time to start looting up, it's the time to get going. Right, you got to figure out your next move. Teams are moving in.
He's actually made it that far.
Yeah, it's a good smoke train. Eden goes for a blind nade, a guess on it. Just having a look at the smokes. Toshpik goes down, as does Loxy. That's a double knock on the nade. Wild's not there to assist, and this should be a free and easy maneuver coming through. That must have been directly through those slits on the top of the shack there as well. What a nade that comes through there. Oh, yeah, I think you leave him. I think you leave. I think you're wild. You're looking for a survival game. I don't even
know. So long, Keenatrope inside of the slight hub there. Back towards the hovercraft. Tuck in, see if they could steal that one. Key still in it. Nade over the top, just into the back line. If that's on target, it could be uncomfortable. And they're pinned in at least. You got the flames in front of them. The nade over the backside. Hora getting hit by Easy as well. Makes that look easy.
There's Kadir goes down. This Revo's still up. Nongshin Red Force in the back line as well, taking shots. Some good nades, good ordnance coming through from Keenatrope to keep them at bay. In the meantime, Falcons will have to deal with Gamax on this north side eventually. They played a slow game with one of the only teams that had a compound for this long, but they need to step up now. All right, versus Gamax. This is where they need to win this fight. I think it would be a crying shame if they lose this engagement. They will have to move down now. It really depends on how aware they are of the rest of the circle. What's the scenario? What's the situation? Have they been keeping tabs? This is a long route from Koa over towards Power, which I personally think is really dangerous.
Yeah, this is kind of insane. Honestly, this is a Power that look really strong in this match especially. They've been playing some great PUBG Mobile. The fights they've been taking, it's heads up, it's quick decision making, they're relying on one another. Push into this, you better be ready, Blank.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. I will say, though, from Koa, the wrap he made on at least his hillside, quite safe to go for, but he does not give a damn. Koa is dragging the team at times, kicking and screaming into these locations. And if it's the case that Ralph's making these calls, Koa is absolutely on the money when it comes to it. He's like, you want me to go scout that? I'll do it right now. No hesitation. And that's an initial knock coming through towards Ragnar.
Yeah, that might have thrown you a bone. That's from R8 as well. So it's R8 being able to get the shot into the back line. They could engage off of this. It'd be the opportunity to go for it. Obviously, you can get that player back up pretty quickly, though. They're giving them time to work with on this. They've got a little bit of cover for it.
Yeah, they have to move down. But I think they understand that for Power, they've got to move first. Likely they'll send south, which I think Easy's doing right now. Keenatrope's just been living inside that shack for a long, long time. No one's been able to get close enough to send nades in. It is very much in the open. 2 loot crates to work with though for Fireflux, so they get a gift from up on high.
Fireflux check with you.
It's tight on the elims as well. 7 for Power, 6 for both Nonshin Red Force and Fireflux. You feel like they basically just had freedom to wait for the push to come towards them. Easy set up with a bit of paranoia about Marth's angle. He knows where he is now off the back of the shots that were fired over. Just the risky run of leaving yourself exposed from the back.
Doxy's gonna move. And soon. Ralph knows it. Just hold the angle. Has a rough idea now where the other players are. From Fireflux at least. Pass that information back across. We'll take this shot. And he was just looking up to the right. Oh, caught slacking. Ketch will pick up that elim. They could crash this if they wanted. I think they'd much rather get rid of Power though first.
Still the move Power have been making. You'll push back over onto Marth, you steal away the bit of cover from him for now. Still 3 players alive. Getting a lot of reads onto this. Attention being drawn over towards Fireflux as well from the majority of the squads, and the Kenotrope still just being able to live on borrowed time. Just sat tucked in, dropping the smokes, keeping it uncomfortable for teams to get close.
Again, I think what's happening right now is that the nades used by Falcons versus Gavax, which I think was unnecessary. They were going to go down at some point either way, as that blue pushed them out. Oh, it does find Ketch. What a shot. And what a timing on it. No one goes down, and they can crash it. I think they have to crash it. Ralph's going to send in first here. Dropping as much medication as possible. Complete misread on the angle. Has to be happening from Redox. Koa's left behind, and Matcap lives this one out.
The shots from the side from Kenotrope are huge as well to buy time, and this comes back to bite them in the bottom. I mean, you can get the res back up, get him in position. They've still got a good angle to fight with on this one. Fragments them massively. And for Power, it might be the spot to potentially steal some of this away. You got the scout from Vahidan at least looking for the read back over.
I'm just not entirely sure what the idea was. I think they'd bought themselves some time, in which case they could start looking out over towards Power. They didn't even bother to try and scout those players. Ketch is going to send out of the way, immediately ducks down, and 7-9 in the hands, but it will be Ragnar to find those shots just barely. Clipping him through the grass. I don't know why Ralph would have wanted that angle in the first place. Like, where did he go from there? I think your only option was to wrap west.
Yeah. For Fireflux, it was awkward as well. The supplies were running so low, he had no shells left for that. So when he drops, couldn't fire out smoke to shroud himself. Both of them now go down. You're out of commission, leaves us with a final 3. Koa barely crawling into the zone, belly on the ground, looking for the angle towards Kenotrope. Oh, the timing!
So exposed. He can take this shack though and play in it, and hope he gets a second. There's a player on his right though, and he does not know.
Ragnar with the angle, nade over the backside, shots at the feet, so low on HP. 1 bullet in the dream is all that he'd need. The peek back up. Oh, the knock on the Ragnar fragments Power, but they've still got the manpower advantage on this one, and it's down to Falcons with just Koa. Peek over the top side, spots the head of Easy, shrouded with the smokes, but bullets coming in from 3 separate angles.
This is a nightmare scenario. Just has to guess the angles. We'll just send back. I mean, well played to Koa. Falcons. But they're going to head down towards right here, which I think is, yeah, that's open, so that's fine. They can take that. Talking. Hey!
Just wondered if you keep going.
No, bro. I'm done.
It's all right. Waypoint of the day, right? You've got to try and get those jitters out of you. Forget about what's happened in some of the games for the rough starts for a few teams. Try and keep that momentum building. For a few of our squads, they certainly have been able to pinpoint that momentum. For Power here, looks like we're thrown into an opening bout, though. Instantly versus Influence Rage. That is not a trot. It is an all-out sprint for domination.
He's coming.
He stopped.
Or he's too late.
Yeah, he might have needed to be a bit quicker on the horse rotate. It's not really worked. Influence Rage are able to fight back and take down one of Power.
Oh, and Vahedon's in a bad spot now. There were some shots from the sidelines coming through, but Vahedon's all on his own. Just got the Pumpy up top side. And he takes a disgusting tag as he drops.
Yeah, indeed. Mac 10 Madness up close. SMG slaps him upside the head. Ragnar from the top side, though, does start to show what he's made of. Bullets down range. Fragments influence Rage once again. Lil Boy got to make the move. Drop the smoke, see if he can get his teammate up. Nade from Easy. Ooh, only one, though.
We know that he's a bad boy when it comes to it. Let's see if he can hit this one. It will be very influential. Goes through and bounces. Easy. After the M16. Ragnar's just sending it, dude.
He's going in. Close on the doorway, ready for it.
He was late to the party. Everyone's already left, but he's determined to keep the music pumping.
He just dives into action. 17 bullets in the clip. SMG. There's the secondary if he needs it. Pull out the UMP. Yeah, you know me. Ragnar about to make some crime scenes on the dive by. Lil Boy down and out. Not the big man in this situation, but the turnaround for Ragnar. Feel his wrath.
Pulls out the 4-bullet. That's all he needs. Nade goes through. Ragnar dives out the way, but somehow on the stairs still takes the tag. Diego will find one. And we are in a 1v1 between Easy and Diego top side, but here comes another team. It is intense game.
As everyone starts to cheer Ragnar's name. Intense game, drop the shush, the silence over the fight in the compound. Diego tucked in, trying to play on the back foot. Easy. About to be hit with a heavy nade up close and personal, just a desk to back foot. Easy. About to be hit with a heavy nade up close and personal, just a desk to provide cover.
Playing it safe, Molotov in. Have to climb this one or just fully take the brunt. Walks out the way. No one's seen him just yet. Gets the tag. We'll find the knock, but it's not enough with Silence, who will silence the party here.
Close these squads are to one another.
Ooh, yawn. Yeah, replay. It was cinematic. It was cinematic.
Really worth running the risk. Yeah, we're seeing it actually work. It's very T with a connection back over into Never Alone as he's tried to make the dash there for Vision. Was to join the rest of the squad up towards the compound side, so a bit of a split, 1-3 on them.
If Regdom Kai just sat still.
अपने लॉन्डन ने हिल रोजो को हिल पकड़ लिया था.
Thompson playing on that south side. Still at 4 comes Yangon.
ये क्या जा रहा है?
It's too little too late though. On it, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, ये वहाँ चल दिया है ये गाड़ी का उधर.
Ooh, a bit off
Solomon boy.
Yeah, a little bit paranoid about the top floor, but it's the ground floor split as well.
Yeah, thanks to the elims. Izzy finding yet another with Volt on a long angle from Mansion.
Yeah, guy cover दे रहा है बेंच.
Baited out for the fight. And it's a sideline shot coming back in from Sky.
बच्चों पर लॉन्डन को पोजीशन तो देखो इनसे बहुत बढ़िया है.
This is a classic fight. Feels like AX and Nunshin Red Force have been thrown into a hell in a cell again and again. These two teams have been scrapping throughout the entire tournament in group stage and again here in survival stage. Delayed bout on this one. Nades over the top. Arian trying to keep them pinned in position. Zizzy with the nade back over. Vinny relatively low as well. Has to top himself back up.
ये लोग बदला खेल रहे हैं.
Nade after nade. That looks like a better air burst in my opinion, but Cyrax does take a lot of damage. Thunder strike from the air there. In the meantime, Horror moves up over towards Fireflux. They find Solus as a solo in one of the buildings. Unresable right now. It's hard to get yourself across too, and he should just bleed out on this one.
Close quarters, Nades. You've got to tuck him with a shotty. Good tag. Zizzy quite low. P90 up. Henry inside of the smoke with the shotty.
And another function Red Force. Very much cut down. Domination Henry's side of the ring. Another good nade coming through from Horror. They are working the angle.
Oh, a prime nade from Zizzy. Right on target. Fragments the setup from AX. Henry has to make a hero maneuver on this one. Wraps up close. Molly over the top, smoke up front to provide some sort of cover for his teammate, but Tizzy peeks in from the top, struggling to get the quick reposition off and switch to the right gun for the job. Couldn't handle it. Cyrax in the back line now, spamming through the smoke, but it goes both ways. Not much vision to work off on this. Oh, hello. Or on eliminations as well would be huge for their momentum. The bonnet hits the face of Tizzy, and they look to end the opportunity.
Roll him down on the reverse.
He lives on this. Up close, Raf takes a bit of damage from the peak, but they do handle it. Koa spots that one with a UMP, and you stop nonching Red Force that were building a huge elimination game. 10 already, they're taken out of commitment. Second closest, of course, is now Falcons with 7.
I mean, this is great, though, for the Falcons, because now they have control over towards the south side of Rozok. They also have Redux still holding that building on the northwest side. He holds his own. It's the first time we've seen a solo Falcon being able to do that. And that's really cool, because now they have a lot of presence on the map here. Needs be, they can wrap back around again. It's going to be a little bit awkward versus E Arena, but it is possible. So they have 2 corners of the map, so they can confirm on either side. There were some good smokes from Falcons, but there is a lot of sidelines to contend with. Koa's up first and will get knocked. Revo's got 5 nades, so plenty here. Ascend over the top side. I think the Falcons are going to find this tough, honestly. Stop short. That's a good stop as well. They know the smokes haven't dissipated yet, so they can afford to stop short. There is a shot that goes through there as E Arena sees that Alpha 7 is distracted.
Oh, here's the problem though. It's not just nades from Alpha 7. Now they're coming in from Aura as well, down on the roadside. Now Valo is eating a ton of damage. Ralph's forced to push further up to actually get himself into cover to play with. So both barrels being given here.
7 losing Revo. Squash just gets back up again. Tony K drops a nade, but it's long. They're in the kitchen and needs to cook this nade to perfection. Ralph finding Revo, steals that one away, but it's Toshpik to take him out. It's all down to Redox. 6 teams, last circle.
Korea firing off the shots in close range. Holds back E Arena. Only Mormon remains. They split on the push-up, hoping they could get in before the pick-me-up onto Squash. Didn't go that way. Comes back to haunt them.
Valo's still up, actually. Didn't even realize it. And he's going to try and get placement here. There's potential for it as well, as everyone starts to get cut out on that northern side. Now Valo walking up. This is a bold maneuver. Surprised he's even getting in here. Finds one off the back of it. Mafioso's down. Mormon's still sending nades in.
Mormon on the slow walk up. Pin pulled for the nade. Bounce round the corner. Squash gets flattened. Mormon makes a play. Potential for the follow-up as well. Close quarters combat. Carrillo trying to hold on for Alpha 7. Able to connect that back. Silence E Arena, but now Novello knows that he can make his move. Gets up close with the DBS. Oh! Huge kill. That is a beautiful elim to put them back into a position. He can get Squash back up.
Wait a minute. Regnum Kaya still going strong with Loxy. Hitting these shots here. It might not be end of the world after all. Carrillo has to send a nade over. It's not perfect, but now he's got to make the cross.
Carrillo going for it.
No way, Loxy.
Taking opportunities where they're presented. Regan Karia being able to play this one picture perfect with the opportunities that have been presented by other teams. Everyone's overlooked him. Sideline from No Fear, living up to his name as he pops up. Silences Loxy. There's the shot back over. And that's the way.
Bones-based vibes play.
Okay, I wouldn't mind Zarky. I wouldn't mind Zarky. I think Zarky's great. Again, a couple of teams that...
Open fields, it is going to be a difficult crossing. Power moving past Fidan, actually moving close towards that forward position, maybe actually over into Influence Rage. Fidan circling here. Easy's going to roll straight on up. Al Haji sending in a barrel sent down the lane towards Influence Rage, and Easy goes in first, does manage to get traded off, but they lose one of their players. Now, can they handle Lil Boy on the inside? Al-Haji take it down, and Influence Rage maybe trying to stop Power dead in their tracks. Vidan on the outside here with the AUG, hasn't managed to find it, and Lil Boy goes for the res.
Lil Boy's going for the res. Lil Boy now out. He knows he has to leave this. There's too much utility to use. And the juke, the bait and switch to take down the remainder of Power to stay alive. The Falcons are now starting to move in, and I fear this might be the ending of Lil Boy. But the medkit is popped. He's back up, but the nades are rolling in, and Falcons are starting to close the vice grip. Lil Boy stands on his own 2 feet for a little bit longer to get one.
They might try and push in and capitalize on this chaos.
Squash taking a lot of damage. Arena moving in. Squash ready for this. However, Alpha 7 starts to crumble. Mormon gets to clean up on Revo. And, well, the rest of the Alpha 7 roster now in shambles. Only one remaining. It's Mafioso. He chose to stay back just a little bit. And, well, he's going to have to go at it alone as a solo for anything, right? Going for placement points. Maybe potentially trying to get the remaining cleanups. I mean, after all, E-Arena does have 2 down players.
Falcons got really keen to push up towards that north side, but it means they've got 3 players in position to potentially pick up these points towards E-Arena. You can see these nades are starting to ring on out, and it's actually from R8 who are able to close down Alpha 7 here, but E-Arena suffering as they try and go for that cross, that northern flex out. The Falcons were all held down towards that number 3 on the minimap. Would be a very viable team to try and take out, but Falcons overcommitting here would expose them to Nongshim Red Force, who have been in this compound since the head.
For Fireflux, they can in fact wrap around the eastern side and maybe take over where the crate is currently at, or they can decide to push. Right now, they're just kind of just seeing what's out there, but with the hovercraft, I think Gang on Galacticus need to take advantage of that. For me, I'm wrapping around. I don't want to full send it. I don't want this third party, but maybe they do.
I mean, it's already smoking. It's really dangerous to be heading on in like that, but Yangon Galacticos full crash onto the northern point, and Nongshim Red Force look to hold. A meat grinder found through the window, but Yangon Galacticos somehow avoid the spinning blades that Nongshim Red Force will send out towards them. Smile is hunting them down, and that's 3 players already falling. Romeo the only casualty. All right, looking at third party, but not really finding too much. It's over almost before it started. And Fireflux are now in on the east side.
But Doc also hits a great shot onto Solus from Fireflux through the window, and now he can capitalize with the nade. You have, of course, Marth and R8 on the outskirts. Nades galore starting to come through. Doc still standing up with the full challenge on the outskirts. Matt Cap, though, great shots with the DBS, will push Doc back.
Forces it back into the inside of the building. Yangon Galacticos and R8 are dealing with each other right now, which means that this is a 1v1 on this corner of the compound, and Doc wants to try and conclude that point and play on from there. Yangon Galacticos successful on the first crash, but R8 challenging them now on the angle, playing with 3 as well. Marth retreats back up to the warehouse, and the Falcons have been marching ever closer as time goes on, but finally Narvalo has a knock sent his way, and they'll have to slow it down just for a beat.
Massive fan of R8 disengaging, going to the shed. That's going to give them a great foothold within this chaotic compound area. Meanwhile, for Kinotrope, they are in dire straits. You already got 1 player very weak and down. You've got 2 more who's also relatively weak. You've got, of course, got a team pushing up onto your location. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. The only thing you can do is hit the dirt. For Regnum Karya, you mentioned them underperforming. Well, look at them now. Top 8, also all 4 players alive and pushing the issue on the remaining players at Kinotrope.
Silas lands a nade right on their heads there now with 1 player left standing. They are going to try and take down Kinotrope in.
Quickly stayed alive on the 2nd floor building of where he currently is. Now for Falcons, are they potentially making a push? Or are they making a rotation? Well, no, they've got to park the bus because R8 continues to punish them.
They try and get up towards the hay bale, but the cover is in there. Damar has been tearing them to pieces. Chunks of Falcon flying left and right as he's blasting them away here, and it's just unfriendly atmospheres out on the northwestern side. There's more to do. Marth's going to have a go. have a crack, and now it's just the one player. No, it's the no players as Falcons fall flat on their rotate up towards the north.
Which is so disappointing. Falcons were on fire. The way they were pushing teams was excellent, and they didn't want to fully commit for this compound play. They wanted to skirt the edge, but there's just no coverage on the outskirts, right? And unfortunately, a little bit too overexposed, but good on R8 to take advantage of that moment. Now, all eyes on Regnum Karya, who have to push through an open space smoke, so valuable in the moment. Now, it's just a mad dash forward. The question is, can they even make any headway? R8, Yangon Galacticus Doc from Nogsham Red Force is going to be looking straight at him.
Immediately covering this field in smoke. Stage 8 circle closes dead center, and that will put us on the north side of this compound. None of these teams currently have position there, so if Regnum Karya can get up to the wall successfully, they're going to have a great shot here, but they're going for the wraparound. Damar on the wall, looks to try and hold his nerve, but he's already taken down in a second as well. A blast on the sidelines here for R8, and they will be hard. Regnum Karya with a clean roll-up and give themselves a chance for 12 elims and more into this circle. 4 elims remain, could be a 26-point game.
Absolute insanity. Regnum Karya looking so incredibly strong, down to our top 3. Duck from Nogsham Red Force to Solo, who has stayed alive as long as he possibly can, looking to play spoiler to the chances of Regnum Karya potentially Yangon Galacticos 4 and 3, both respectively alive for
their position, and thinking perhaps they want to try and take the wall side of this compound. You could potentially be there. It's fairly nadeable, which makes it a little bit dangerous depending on what sort of utility Yangon Galacticos are going to be working with, but having that angle that controls the open courtyard to the north side of this Yangon Galacticos building would be absolutely huge. But for now, Regnum Karya going to allow themselves a little bit of time, a little bit of breathing room, get those healing ticks back up from those stims. They also don't know where this last solo player is, which means that they're probably wary as to where that off angle could be.
I like where Wild is currently at. He's going to be protecting the backside, allowing his teammates to just focus on what's in front of them. You do not want to get flanked, and there is a potential, right? Yangon Galacticos can send a player down to where Wild is currently at. That would basically spell the ending of this fight. I do have to nose this, and Doc is going to be opposite of him. Yangon Galacticus moving in. SayCloud and Doc potentially about to square off.
Silas opening the building. I don't think you want to step in there just yet. Doc now getting pressure put on him. Yangon Galacticos know he's there, know that this fight happened earlier, and they will take care of him. So no more annoyances from the side. But Yangon Galacticos have invested time. And the question is, what have Regnum Karya done with it? They've moved out to the north side, up and to that wall position. The nade over towards Silas drops short from Smile, and everybody's cooking them. How much more have they got left in the back pocket? Loxy with a long lob, doesn't quite connect, and another one sent over towards Silas. Sees the numbers even. 3 versus 3, and Wild falls next.
All right, Regnum Karya now with the 3 versus 3, as you said. SayCloud, Smile, nades are cooking. They're throwing, but are they connecting? Well, not just yet. Loxy, no, down. Loxy down. Yangon Galacticos managed to make it happen and take the win. Regnum Karya, a heroic effort, a wonderful.
Good games on your 4 big games, and then on your 8 small games, you're looking to put the rest. So about 20 points up on those games, which in general,
Falcons, they're very comfortable and happy where they currently are. For Alpha 7, they are not. This might be the opening fight. Alpha 7 needs to gain some confidence.
It's all on Ko as well. I think it was Narvalo, if I'm not mistaken, who didn't have a weapon in this scenario. Okay, he's managed to find himself something. Revo with the pump action around the corner. A death dealer without the armor to assuage any of the damage. Cloa gets caught and immediately flushed as well. Carrillo with the nade and the Winchester in tow. Narvalo with the UMP and the M4, so he's got the ordnance to be able to do it. Sneaky dash out the sidelines, hops wide, and takes care of one. Maybe turning over for a second. The rest of the team are there. Narvalo hits a mad drop shot to keep the Falcons in this one.
And he's going for the third. The third is right in front of that Swash. Catches the backpack, but doesn't connect the shots. Narvalo forced to reposition, pulling off a heroic effort. Now you got Redox, who's also pushing in to assist. This would be a tremendous collapse from the Alpha 7 roster, but Squash manages to drop Narvalo, but not in enough time. Redox hits the final shot. Revo will fall, and therefore Alpha 7 will be the first team eliminated.
A massive drop shot coming through from Narvalo. A huge result for them. to keep the Falcons in as 3, keep them towards the top spot, and that's how you kick things off here. And Alpha 7, they're not making the front page off of this match. That is guaranteed. A second drop, hot drop did happen in the meantime. It was over in Mikado, and Rectum Kaya suffering heavily losses towards Power.
Yeah, that's tough. Two big teams taking some heavy losses, but Falcons getting that win. Narvalo flipping the script is tremendous. Falcons should have been dead in that moment. Alpha 7 should have been leading with the squad wipe, but instead, Narvalo flips the script with the 3-piece, and that's why Falcons are currently in first place. That's why we continually talk about them. That's why they are the home team.
They have got a lot of strength.
It's opposite of Kinetro, putting out some damage, actually some great damage. We go back to the initial start, and you notice Alpha 7 are clearing out Team Falcons until Narvalo clears the hallway, drop shot for the second, and then picks up the last remaining member in the corner of Squash. And pops off. You know, seeing emotion from the players really pieces it all together. You can see how much that moment meant for Team Falcons.
My God.
Here, they will. They should be able to take over.
They're going to have a really tough time. They're going to leave Jiggle, see how far they can go. No Fear on foot has to try and march his way on into this one, but it is just a hail of bullets he's met with.
But do they know where he's currently at? Do they know he's going to be on foot? Osi said really IG rolls in. Hora might be totally dismantled, and IG does exactly that, and now they can focus their attention on the remaining members who's going to be up top for Kinetro. Final, oh, big nade 3 down. Rafa, what are you going to do in this moment? Anything? Can he even get out? I don't think so. The fact that Kinetro has turned the fight, turned the tides in their favor is tremendous.
17 tons of death crates in the area. Everybody's going down. Kinetro looking to try and stay alive across the road, but they've still got to go a little bit further. Everybody needs to look both ways on this one, and it is just hell for leather as these bullets storm their way on in. No Fear spraying down, but it is Ora, I think, the only team to actually still have a representative alive, but the blue zone's going to push them out, and that is that. On the western edge, nobody makes it out.
Insanity, we lose
here. The Molotov on the tree, Lil Boy's chilling. Gamax is going to get pushed in, but so is Lil Boy.
The cat's going to be out of the bag. R8's been spotted. Vision knows exactly where they are, and they also know it's just going to be a duo. For Yangon Galactica's pushing forward. Power's got the hard cover POI. They've been sitting here for the longest time. They're on 8 eliminations. They're going for double digits, and I see no reason why this game doesn't go to them with the highest scoring elimination lead.
The question is, when do these teams crash around the edge? R8 concluding on the north side with Vision. If Vision can take this one down cleanly, 2 crashes onto Power's position at the same time could be disastrous, but that needs Vision to stay alive. And R8 are really reticent to let that happen. Never Alone steps out, sprayed down, and R8 are chewing through them now. Volt the last to stand for Vision's on the northern edge. Needs to keep himself together. The nade goes up on high towards Prestige, but they split the difference. Will find a knock. No, not quite. And they know it now exactly what tree he's playing behind. It's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time indeed. Volt needs to hit a miracle nade. It's cooking. It's thrown, but it's been dodged. And Volt still in dire straits. Vision, too much tunnel vision onto Power up ahead. They forgot about R8, even though they had to have known the duo was there, but they didn't respect them enough. And because of that, once they started firing on Power up ahead, R8 took the opportunity to third party themselves, and now it's an absolute disaster for Vision.
And this is so annoying for Yangon Galacticos as well. They needed that opportunity, right? If R8 go down cleanly, there's a chance that Power lose to 2 full 4 pushes. You play for a second place, but now as it stands, Power can just take these shots for free down towards the south side, and immediately they're starting to open the cannons towards Yangon Galacticos. That approach is getting dangerous, but Verdun is traded away, and Power lose a player.
They lose one, but their position is still very, very strong. Yangon Galactica is going to have to fight even harder, especially now with one more dropping off. That leaves them with just 2. For Vision, a slight recovery. The revives are starting to come in. The tree being really the savior for Vision in this moment. Now, granted, that is only important against R8. I still feel once they start to apex that hill, Power is going to take their heads off.
Yeah, it's really nasty stuff here. 3 nades in hand for Say Cloud. It looks like they don't have too much more smoke to work with. They're looking out for R8. They've seen Prestige, but the nades from Power are just going to ring on over this ridgeline. That Molotov is beautiful. Might push them into the blue zone, and they'll go down to it. A nice result for Yangon Galacticos either way, getting into a top 4 off the chicken dinner. But Vision, they're still going, like you said. They managed to find a little bit of recovery, but they are still struggling, it seems, on the northern side with 9 elims.
9 elims, great game nonetheless. You got to give them their flowers where flowers are due. Vision, where do you go from here? You just got to push forward. You got R8 to your right. Now Haji now starting to get active, getting a forward position onto Team Vision. Marcelo as well. Oh, Haji's down. Did Power just throw this game away?
Oh, I don't know about that one. It is still a lot of pressure onto Vision. They will fall, but now it's a 2 versus 2. Inside the building, Power is going to start to lose pressure very, very quickly. Ragnar needs to find a way out. So does Easy. These walls have now turned into their prison.
Oh,
and the angle is swept underneath the vehicle there. It's all up to Easy now in a 1 versus 2. All right, look at her turn things around, but the res can come through, and Al-Haji being back on his feet could be crucial.
R8 from Team Falcons, they continue to push forward, they take down Vision, and now they're looking to take the game in sensational fashion. Only 2 more players remain up ahead. Power able to recover just for the meantime. A true 2v2. Easy's moving out, he's taking damage. He's now up close and personal with the team of Power. Prestige though, refusing to back down, hitting the shots needed as Power starts to collapse. And is it R8? Yes, it is. They take a try.
Alpha 7 there on the north.
Setting the trap on the Sleepy.
Oh no.
He gets up, does he know Petrino's up there? Well, now he does. Cat's out of the bag. A big fight for the high ground. All top out.
No,
Sleepy down! Sleepy down! And there's nothing he can do. Hugs the wall, tries to avoid damage, and simply cannot.
Order in, and now they have to commit to this hillside push. So Pedrino can just give ground. I mean, it's smart, right? You just slam it in reverse, do a little pirouette on the way down. You look classy, you look sophisticated, and you just get out of there, right? That's the idea.
Not out yet.
A lot of ammo being dispensed here downhill, but not quite connecting. Has to hop out though as the vehicle starts to set on fire, and there we go.
Badon hugging the corner. Noxium Red Force starting to tighten the vice grip. It's not going to be an easy fight for either which roster. I do love the high ground over Tizzy. Power cannot disengage. With Doc starting to fall, do we start to see Noxium Red Force unfurling?
Binny will be there for the refrag. That smoke on the door frame is doing a lot of work for Noxium Red Force. He's playing around it with the shotgun, just going on those gut reactions there. Hitting those flick shots, all important. Has done so much for them. Easy drops down, out and around the side, and he clocks 1 on the swivel. A really nice heads-up drop down there for Easy. More to go, though, and Binny on the inside, trying to keep things together for Noxium Red Force, but Power trying to turn it around as a pump action. Again for Binny, dispensing a hell of large amount of damage for the roster of Noxium Red Force, and they keep it going. Power done and dusted.
Ooh, and that's tough, isn't it? This is a must-win fight. Alpha 7 needs to stay alive. It is critical. They break into top 8 by the end of the day, and some great utility has already been thrown. Revo is starting to take over the high ground, pushing where Wild is currently at, just down below. Loxy, a solo at multiple times, who has managed to stand his ground this time, has a full force around him. It's only going to make him a better player. Squash, pre-fires, no connections, and the dance will continue.
Alpha 7 rock up, no casualties on the approach so far. A little bit of damage sent towards Mafioso, towards Revo, but they are now in the straight up 4v4. As Regnum Kaya holding the ground, a lot of damage sent over to Mafioso, and a 1-4 trade on the off angle there. Silas finds a second as well, looks to put Alpha 7 back down into the dirt, and it's all up to Revo now as they're finding the shots for Regnum Kaya. His hold is monumental. Toshpik is traded off, but 1 is not enough, and Alpha 7 end their day in the bottom half of the lobby.
That is so tough. Regnum Kaya putting the final nail in the coffin for Alpha 7's performance in day 1 survival stage.
Dishing out some punishment, but wanting to try and break towards the top side here. In 9th place, Ora looking to move away from Alpha 7 towards E-Arena. But E-Arena themselves going to be crashing on towards this Regnum Kaya position. We've seen them defend 1. Can they do it again?
Regnum Kaya looking to take down 2 teams in the same game. And E-Arena, though, got to give them faith because they've done such a great job holding hardcover POI, but it's chaos across the board. Loxy bottom right, of course, Joker, who's going to be bottom left, and then the overhead up top is it's just a mad scramble for positioning, and I believe Regnum Kaya gives respect to E-Arena. They're dipping.
I think this is sensible. You wait for those pushes, you should control these door frames, and you try and get some value out of it, but you know you're not winning really, realistically, a lot of the time in that engagement. It would take a lot of confidence to stick around.
Job just got even more difficult.
It is really, really tough stuff here. 6 teams now remain with 21 players alive. And it looks like Marcelo's going to get a little bit closer now to Regnum Karya. Draw some shots out, get a little bit of info.
Yep.
Wait for E-Arena to try and challenge as well on a third-party off angle, but they aren't spotting it.
Have no choice. Vision, they've got the man advantage, but they've got to break into the cover. It's not going to be easy, but it's their only go at it. They focus on the Loxy first.
Right.
Loxy, though, does a good job taking down a combo. In fact, he's going to get the full finish onto Alone. Marcelo off to the right will also be taken down. Volt, the last chance, the last dance for Team Vision to make anything happen in the final game of day number 1 of the survival stage will end in a wonderful hold. But here comes the third party, E-Arena. They're out for blood, and they want to finish off Regnum Karya.
They've heard this fight popping off. This is the only team that was holding them from moving north, and Regnum Karya's sightlines get pushed off the angles. They don't have time to heal because they've got more players descending upon them. 30k, nade in hand, Wild desperately pop in that first aid. The Molotov on high keeps Loxy back off the window, and 30k plays forwards, and he opens the door, potentially to his demise, but Silas not going to go down just yet. 30k hopping up, trying to challenge on the high ground, and might be able to do it, but slips low. And in the meantime, E-Arena have lost a player on the off angle. Fireblocks are moving in. Influence Rage, Aura as well, trying to find their way through and closer to this fight.
Tremendous fight, a big fight indeed. The question is, who's going to end up ahead? Regnum Karya, E-Arena, Fireflux with catch. Will he have any impact? Well, with the reset, E-Arena, once again, a 4-man unit who can push straight into Regnum Karya, but Silas wants to hold his ground, and he's doing exactly that. With the choke point of the stairway, he knows if anyone pushes up, they're good for dead. Silas needs to hit the shots needed, but no one is going for the challenge just yet. Regnum Karya still has a little bit of distance. The fight will stagnate once again.
Silas, the big dog with 5 elims, sat at the top of the performance charts for Regnum Karya here in their final moments of this hold. Alpha 7 couldn't do it. Vision couldn't do it. E-Arena taking a crack at it. Regnum Karya may be too tall of a mountain to climb here as they keep things on lock and key. These guys are champions in their own right, and that is on full display here.
Without a doubt, now they've got to push forward. They take a couple of pop shots on the Aura, keep their heads down, so they have free and clear ground to push up. Now, you do got to consider Fireflux catch, who's going to have the off angle on Regnum Karya once they do push out. But for Aura, all eyes on Influence Rage up ahead. Influence Rage, this is one of their deepest runs we have seen today, one of their best performances yet. I'm hoping they start to crawl their way up into the top 8 position, but Aura, they've got other plans, and Lil Boy is down.
Let's get a little bit more done. Loxy falls as well on an off angle there, and it looks like Aura are starting to extend their influence. It was Ketch who was able to catch them on the approach there. They're potentially going to be resable, but the blue zone pushing in, they just direct Regnum Karya to try and dispatch them from that location. Regnum Karya committing? No, they don't find the res.
Wild, he's got the forward position. He's going to be the closest to Horda, but he doesn't understand what he's getting into. You've got Influence Rage who's been fighting against Horda. Wild's going for the off angle. Sleepy has taken a lot of damage. Sky's going to be coming grenade. Silence is going in. The tip of the spear looking to turn the tides. Regnum Karya is full committed. They know they have to, but Wild, he's the only one who's going to be standing currently. Orda is going for gold, but Influence Rage, I've got to favor them. I think they got this. Orda, they are running on fumes, and Influence Rage is tightening the vice grip.
Law with a nade cooking now. Over the top needs to find the shots, but Lorison goes down to the back line, and no answer is found with a nade. Sky looking to try and take up the mantle of the peak, but again, he is rebuffed. It's all up to Jiggle now for Orda to keep them linchpinned into this match, but Catch is there. He finds it, and that's Law as well, taking the shots out wide. Nobody's going out of this desert unscathed now, and Law can't find the first, looks for the second challenge, and he just dips behind it. Stays alive for a moment longer, a breath allowed for the time being.
Sleepy Sleepy's the one to watch out for. Catch as well. Look, Fireflux can still very well win this with a solo, and it could in fact happen. Sleepy's going to take down Law. He's going to be gone. No Fears once again dropped. Diego's going to be pushing up onto Orda. The nade's going to be cooking. Orda's actually out, and now it comes down to a 1v1. It's going to be Catch versus Diego.
Catch, the madman from Fireflux. They've been playing on dribs and drabs for so long, and they managed to find it right at the end. What a crazy turnaround for Fireflux. They play in the shadow of Team Vision and Regnum Karya on the compound. They play split. They play
Karya start to rotate over after they win.